Hello, welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have the reports that Meghan is not happy with the first reactions to Discount Barbican's toilet paper pack in book form, Belen Game. Because she's so delusional that, yes, she thought that people were going to believe the exact same lies that she has told over so many years, but this time told by the plastic gobshite and 1.5 years later, no less. In Belen Game, the Duchess of Sausages plays the lead in accusing not one, but two mysterious royal figures of fretting over the shade of young Archie's skin. And that's why I told you this was the worst possible sequel to their lackluster Oprah interview. And meanwhile, Harold, the family's prodigal son, appears to be using his charming offspring as emotional pawns in a high-stakes game of Frogmore Cottage Monopoly. "Don't you want to see your grandchildren anymore?" he allegedly asked King Charles in a scene that sounds like it's straight out of a Bollywood drama. I don't think Harry has actually talked to Charles, much less asked this question. Because can you imagine King Charles' face at the level of hypocrisy in that question? I mean, you're asking me if I don't want to see Archie and Lily? Is this some kind of candid camera? Because I don't think you or your wife are in a position of asking that question. And the funny thing is, we have already seen enough headlines that tell us that Grandpa Charles is spending quality time with his grandchildren. But well, we mean the ones that do not live overseas, of course. But Scobie, the sausages unofficial bard, hints at a not-so-rosy picture of the family dynamics, painting King Charles as unpopular and Prince William as power-hungry. It's like a royal version of Game of Thrones, but with more tea and fewer dragons. I mentioned this psychological trick many times. That the Harricles want to do, using Discount Barbican as a proxy, is to make Harry look like he would have been the best king ever, or at least he's the more compassionate one. Of course, it will have to do with the fact that he has direct connection with the Elizabeth Arden ghost via a Ouija board or Jedi powers or something, like he was the chosen one. And to add to the melodrama, there's the usual family squabble over Frogmore Cottage, a place that seems to have more drama than Buckingham Palace itself. And as the royal pod keeps steering, Scobie urges everyone to read his book for the full and accurate story. We won't. But Discount Barbican wants to prove to his master that he did his work well, even if it hasn't had the reception Meghan wanted. And among the pile of dog shite that represents the biggest turd since Amber Heard, here are some smelly gems. And number one is King Charles' trust issues, because he allegedly sent a royal WhatsApp broadcast saying, "Don't trust Harry, post his spare memoir." Talk about that family group chat gone wrong. And that's simply not possible because King Charles doesn't have a mobile phone, much less access to WhatsApp, and good for him. Number two, Harry's apparently in the mood for forgiveness or forgetfulness. I don't know. But what he wants is an actual apology from the royal family. That's it. He wants the royal family to apologize to him. I would pay good money to watch Harry's face when he instead receives a voice note with all the royal family laughing at his request. That's not something that they would do, of course, but that is certainly something that Harold deserves because he's just a clown in ginger disguise. Number three, Discount Barbican repeats he claims that Meghan would rather binge watch literally anything else, including Suits, which, by the way, I'm sure she hasn't watched even one episode, than be part of the royal drama again. She's opting out of royal events and everything that has to do with it. And yeah, that's another deflection technique. Because Meghan knows that without the word royal in the headline, then she's pretty much worthless. That's why she's so anxious of being accepted in the Hollywood circles again, if she had access to them in the first place. And number four, another gem. This time with Anne, who played the role of the royal real estate agent and nudged Charles to initiate Frogsit, kicking Harry and Meghan out of Frogmore Cottage. It's almost like they want to paint the Princess Royal as the evil aunt who went right to the door to hammer in the eviction notice. And I know what you're thinking. I have an eye in the sky looking at you. I can read your mind. You want this to be true because that would make Princess Anne so much more awesome. As I said, the things that Scobie put on that roll of toilet paper is having the exact opposite effect that Meghan expected. And number 5 is Harry sad because he was the last to know about the final hours of his grandmother. After making the world think that she was a racist for months and letting her pass away without fixing that, only after he released his own pack of printed toilet paper. What would you have done with this testicleless goblin? Number 6 is no Christmas text between brothers. By this point, you're noticing a stupid trend about these pages. That it only states the obvious, trying to paint the royal family as cold and distancing themselves from the Monte shit show morons. But that is a good thing. That is something that any sane people would do. Just shut the ginger overseas. Didn't he claim that he was trapped and he took the freedom flight and his brother and father are still inside that trap? I don't know about you, but Harry's body language from a long time ago says otherwise. But number 7 is perhaps the stupidest point of all. Post Finding Freedom, Scobie says he's been given the cold shoulder by the royals, particularly William. It's like he's been ghosted by the entire House of Windsor. Shocking revelations, Plastic Fantastic. What did you expect? And why would you care? Do you have some kind of feelings towards William? And you get hurt? Oh, that's what it was. A plastic broken heart. Wait until Meghan drops you, and by her reaction to Boleyn game, that is going to be sooner than later, chap. But since Meghan needs to keep making it look like they affect the royal family in any way, we got headlines like this one. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made King Charles' slimmed-down monarchy very difficult, says expert. And according to historian and royal commentator Gareth Russell, Megxit basically threw a royal wrench in Charles' slimming plans. This chap claims that right now King Charles is probably looking at family photos like, where did I go wrong? He'd hoped that Harry and Meghan would pull a boomerang and come back to the royal fold. Instead, they are off being financially independent and living their best life. Like the overseas life is exactly like a Viagra ad. Now, the royal lineup is supposed to be King Charles, Queen Camilla, the Princess Royal, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. Now, let's make a very interesting exercise. Look at the members of the royal family right there. Look at them. Explain to me, how can you possibly add the Montecito morons in this mix and somehow improve it in any way? You can't. If you add Meghan and Harry in here, you will effectively subtract from the group's efficiency, just because all the drama and complaining and wah. This is the kind of stuff that I don't understand. I don't know if you fancy Gareth Russell's books. I guess people do because he's written quite a few of them. But in the field of common sense and tactical reasoning, I think he could make good use of watching a couple YouTube videos on the topic. Either way, I would love to know, what do you think about this in the comments. My Royal Rogues, remember the 2 most important words: much love and bliss.